Liftoff. And we're live. Welcome, everybody. We are live for the first time back again. We have a very bad schedule. We're not good podcasters, but you guys understand, right?
It's just one of those things. It's just one of those things where we're just not.
We're both busy. I mean, Bryan started a new job. Well, it's been a couple months now, right? But
I work at nights, certain nights of the week, and the nights that I'm not working, Johnny works those nights with some streams that Tom and Brandon and all those guys do. So it's like we have a hard time juggling that.
We stay busy. We stay busy. No, I mean, like, it definitely when stuff doesn't pay the bills, it doesn't become a priority. You gotta
right.
Take care of
of course.
Day one people first. That doesn't make sense. Anyways, we're back, and let's just play the intro, and then we'll figure out some kind of rhythm of the show.
And I woke up ready, man. I got a call right after I got dressed. They was coming to pick me up at 9:30 in the morning. I told them I'm gonna be ready.
I like to all around badass. That's who Johnny Barks is.
Johnny Barks. Shout out to Johnny Barks that crushed it with the editing.
Came in here shooting. I mean, I saw his ass walk in here, get a camera on. I had a camera on me as soon as you guys walked in here. I was like, all right, this dude is on it.
What do you mean Barks has a fight?
Johnny?
What do you mean Barks has a fight?
Johnny?
What do you mean Barks?
What's up, Captain Hook? Captain One Eye?
Or Mad Eye Moody from Harry Potter.
That's a better one. That's a good one. You need my hair for that, though.
Yeah, probably.
Look just like him.
You watching this World Series stuff?
I did not watch the World Series. I had to work all through the night last night to get some stuff done. I had been kind of procrastinating, but also been working on. Could have worked on better, I guess. But
Well, as you know, I'm a Cubs fan, and so I'm torn actually because I hate both teams. I hate the Dodgers because they're an NL like money, machine, and then the Yankees, same reason, but the AL. Also, I don't really like. I feel like Yankees fans are kind of like it's whatever.
See, I'm kind of torn. I get the hatred for the big market. It's kind of crappy because like these two teams are paying like maybe 12 other teams are paying combined, like the bottom 12.
Right.
So like it's crappy because like you just buy your way to the top, but it's so hard to read the playoffs in Major League Baseball.
Right.
I mean, as a Brewers fan, I want to be salty and like I guess I'm just happy that the Mets aren't in it.
Right.
I guess for the game though, I think it's good. Like some of the best players, man. Like the guy that they walked to bring up to the plate because they thought it was the weakness. Freddie Freeman, I'm not like a big baseball nerd or anything, but he's still pretty freaking good.
Right.
So like, yeah, it's good for the sport. You get the best players in the league in the biggest games. But I mean, I wasn't happy when Ohtani signed with the Dodgers. I thought it was kind of bullshit. I wish he would have signed like with a smaller team or something.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, and I still like Ohtani, and I like a lot of the individual players on both teams. Like I like Rizzo, obviously, as a Cubs fan, and then I like Mark Pryor. I think he's the pitching coach, or might be the bench coach now for the Dodgers.
I remember that. Mark Pryor in 2005 MVP baseball. That was like the dude I used to train with the Cardinals.
Yeah. He was one of my favorite players to watch growing up. Mark Pryor and Kerry Wood were like sort of on that level. But yeah, no. Who day? Well,
who is day?
Ask Paul Sr.
The Bengals are back in it. I think they legit are still a playoff team. I mean, I believe in the Bengals still. Mm-hmm. I think this is a huge week for them against the Eagles. Man, this is that's legit one of the most. I don't think many people have talked about that game. That's going to be that's one of the games I'm looking forward to the most. I think that's at 3. I might get to watch that game. Isn't that at 3? I'd have to look at the schedule. I'll pull it up.
Usually,
Bears Commanders. How are you feeling? You kind of like. I think it's a lose almost now for Bears fans if Jaden Daniels doesn't play because it's like if you win, people are going to be like, oh, well, Jaden Daniels doesn't play, so you're supposed to win that game. But then if you lose and it's like an extra double whammy, it's like, haha. And I'll make fun of you for losing the Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hope he plays and I hope we win against him. Either way, Marcus Mariota looked good.
He did. No, that's like the perfect, that's the perfect quarterback for that system they're running. I mean, that was like kind of the giveaway when they signed Mariota and they hired Kingsbury, they're like, oh, they're definitely going to draft Jaden Daniels. I mean, I'm not a football nerd, so I don't really understand. I couldn't explain it to you in like a paragraph. Yeah, it's a good narrative.
I would rather Jaden Daniels come in and us beat them the right way than Marcus Mariota come in and
even if you smoke them, you know what I mean? No matter what, if you win, people are like, oh, especially because, the recent schedule you've already had, the Jags, Texans, and whatever. Or not.
Haven't had the most difficult schedule the past
Panthers.
weeks. But
Caleb looks good. Like he definitely has the arm and the pocket presence. He just needs to like figure out the deep ball and his turnovers.
Yeah. But, compared to Jordan Love, he's not that bad with turnovers, honestly.
Hey, he has like double the touchdowns Jordan Love does in 2 fewer games. I guess just 1 fewer game now than Caleb.
I think he has double.
How many touchdowns? He has 15 touchdowns, and Caleb has like, 8?
I think he has more. It's worth a Google. He definitely has more. I mean, he had 4 in one game, I'm pretty sure.
This is what producers are for.
I want to say he has 12.
Does he get 12? Maybe I'd be totally wrong. I know he
has 9.
9, yeah. So it's like 60%, 70%?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Somewhere in the middle of what we're saying.
What's funny is they kind of have similar playing styles, Love and Caleb. They love trying to fit they love throwing that deep ball and
well, I will say the
hallway.
Bears have they still have that essence of we want to run the ball when we can type, but it doesn't operate as the Packers do, as like a pace trying to keep defenses off guard, type of thing. It's more of if we get into a rhythm, we'll run the ball, even if it's like we should be passing a little bit, and we're going to run anytime we're in the red zone is what it feels like. Which is a normal Bears thing, but combining it with, the possibility of, 20 to 40-yard touchdown passes makes it feel like we, the world is our oyster. I don't know. So I feel good about it.
There's a lot to be excited about, no matter who you guys have been playing.
But
just like a few throws I think he's made would be enough to be excited about. Just not even like looking at everything else. Not even considering like how he's. I know the narrative is like he's like actually making his progression and reading the defense, which was a problem with Fields and Trubisky and like all the quarterbacks before that. So like I get why you guys would be super excited, and I want to give you guys shit and say he's still not great yet. Like,
I would say the hype has been somewhere in between what you thought he would be and then what I thought he would be.
I thought he'd have I guess he's already showing to have a higher floor than I thought he might.
Mm-hmm.
But I was never going to be surprised if he was like very flashy with his arm and his the way he extends plays. I was like, that was never.
You're saying he has flash, is what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I saw. I was giving you shit. That was the thing we said last year.
Jordan Love has no flash.
Well, I mean, they're very like that's how they both started. Like kind of very inconsistent with deep accuracy. Jordan Love's gotten better. He's just getting very ballsy with his throws and like it's just God. He's so arrogant. Is the word the best word I've heard for it from EJ and Coleman over at the Bootleg Football Podcast. But
right.
No, it's fun times in NFC North. I will say. I just hope that the Vikings continue to plummet, and then just because they were so confident, they talked so much shit after our.
Didn't they? Are they on a 2-game? They're on a 2-game losing streak right now.
They lost 2 games in 5 games.
Yeah. Which
5 days, because Thursday and Sunday.
Yeah.
So if the Packers beat the Jaguars, I hope it's not a trap game by any means. I'm pretty confident still. It feels like we just always fall flat in Florida. Our offense does in like that 40 heat. I don't know what it is. It's like a Wisconsin thing. But I mean, it's been pretty warm in Wisconsin, so I don't think that would be like an issue. But yeah, if we win against Jacksonville, then we have we'll be 6-2, and they'll be 5-2. So we'll be ahead of them.
There you go.
All right, let's get into some fun stuff. I think we're all getting our drink. We're fentanyl over here.
We're all fentanyled out right now.
It's Saturday, though. It's a little bit of a chill Saturday. Let me
Saturday
upload this.
night.
Feel free to call our numero 3, 1, 4, 4, 7, 2, 3, 7, 7, 2. Is that 7, right?
Yes.
Call the line, give us a phone call, whatever you want to talk about. You want to talk about girls? You want to talk about
talk about girls? Want to talk about? Let's talk about butter sausage. You ever see that Gary Busey?
Summer vacation.
Talk about butter sausage.
Cartoons. We could talk about anime. I don't know much about anime, but you could tell us about it. You could teach me something about anime.
Yeah, ask us any of your questions you have.
Fantasy questions, whatever you got
deepest,
going
darkest
on.
fantasy question.
Yeah, you only got 2 people in the chat right now, so like no one's gonna hear it. Just tell us your secrets. No, we appreciate you guys coming in. We appreciate you guys listening.
We won't tell.
All right, let's this week's pick'ems. I picked nothing. I picked nothing because I keep losing my money on fucking parlays.
Yeah,
don't do it, guys.
Same.
Don't do it. Even though it's promo funds.
Time last year that I quit doing pick'ems, and then I picked it back up around week 15-ish.
Good times.
But yeah, I had one. It was a 5-leg parlay. No, it was a 5-leg parlay with like some crazy things happening in it. And it was like a Dawson Knox touchdown, Aaron Rodgers throwing for over X amount of yards, Garrett Wilson getting over X amount of yards.
Yeah,
I got them all, and then the last leg was a Breece Hall touchdown. I bet $15 on it, would have won $1,000. Breece Hall, I don't know if you remember this game a few weeks ago. It was like 2 weeks ago, where he ran like 80 yards and then he got tackled at the 3-yard line.
He keeps getting like mooched. It's rough.
And then they ran it with him twice, and then they ended up throwing, I think, to Tyler Conklin or something. But yeah, so I was like 3 yards away from winning $1,000, and then now I haven't done a pick 'em since then.
I'd be so upset, man.
Yeah,
I saw someone on my I follow on Twitter for a bit. It was funny because he came out as like the guy that's like, "Don't do parlays, guys." I'm like, I agree with this message. And then now he's like doing a bunch of crazy UFC parlays, and he just hit one that was like $1,500 for 100,000. It was like 3 legs. I was like, what the fuck?
Jeez.
Wish I had a time machine for that. But, props to him. Let's get on with our Stump Bryan game.
I forgot we were doing this.
Stump and Bryan.
Let's do it.
Who's the background? Let's get this. I like the orange.
So what's the flavor?
Okay.
What's the genre of Stump Bryan?
There are 7 NFL quarterbacks.
Okay.
Here's a stat. It's adjusted net yards per pass attempt. So it's basically just pass yards per attempt, but it factors in sacks and passing touchdowns and interceptions. Like your passing touchdown, interception ratio, and your sack yardage. It's like I like this stat actually. I didn't know about this stat until last night. I'll be honest with you, but I like it, and I think it's an interesting one because I think it's like it weighs. I think sacks should be kind of because a lot of times I don't want to blame it. Like I'm not a fucking quarterback, obviously, but like at least half the time I think it's on the quarterback for not like adjusting the protections correctly. So they deserve like some blame for sacks or for not getting the. I mean, obviously not all sacks are the same. As you said.
Okay, so 20. It's 20. "Quote unquote." Technically, you can just say yards per passing touchdown, and minus 45 yards per interception.
Yes.
Okay. And then you also subtract sack yards, and then just passing yards or
yes. So minimum 1,500 pass attempts. There are 7 quarterbacks who have at least 7 adjusted net yards per pass attempt in their career. I want you to name as many as you can. I'll give you a minute.
I'm trying to think if that's a good.
It's good. It's like a very efficient quarterback that also puts up yards and touchdowns. And like, and I think there's at least 2 that you won't get, but I think the other ones might be kind of obvious. But I want to see how long it takes you if you can get all 7. I'm going to give you a minute. All right, are you ready?
Peyton Manning.
Hold on. I didn't say.
Okay.
And go.
Peyton Manning.
That is 1. Hold on 1 second, actually. restart it because I need to have the list on me because I have it on the side, but I don't want to go back.
I'm just trying to do the most passing yards.
Okay. So I'll read it off to you. I should have I did this better. I'll read it off like
You're trying to get the top
Okay,
7, basically.
Yes.
Is what you're saying.
Yes. All
There's
right.
7 people who have 7 or higher.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. And go.
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning's number 3.
Say Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's number 5.
Let's do Drew Brees.
Drew Brees is number 4.
Okay.
You get as many guesses as you want.
Dan Marino.
Nope.
Jerry. No, I don't want to do some of those old Jerrys. There's
Just
probably a lot of newer guys.
Just name
let's
as many as
do-
you can. 27
let's do,
seconds.
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes number 1.
Yeah. Let's throw Jordan Love in there because I think you probably
He's not in there.
Okay. Okay. So we got 4.
There's another Packers quarterback.
Okay. It's not Brett Favre. Aaron Rodgers.
Number 2. So you got top 5.
Okay.
Number 6 and 7.
These are the two that I'm not
I'll
going to.
give you. I'll reset the timer for another 30 seconds. You get 30 more seconds to get these 2 guys. So I want you to get them. Just name out names.
Let's do. Shit. Oh fuck.
Quarterbacks, Brian.
I'm just trying. Like
15
what era?
seconds.
What era? Modern day? Like we're talking.
I'll give you a minute. Another minute.
Let's do Baker Mayfield.
No.
Okay.
His career. This is career.
Okay. Well.
So it's not just recent.
Matt Ryan.
No. Although Matt Ryan is number 20.
Okay. This is not going well. Let's call it. I got the top 5. So
Okay.
the 6 and
One more
7.
guess. One more guess. Give me one more guess.
Can you just give me a hint, like an era of when are they? Is it the past like 10 years?
He played from 2004 to 2016.
Okay. Eli Manning.
That was a good guess. No, he played till 2018, I believe. Here is the top 7. Yeah,
Jimmy
Tony Romo and
Garoppolo.
Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson was the one that surprised me.
Oh yeah,
This is why I
Sorry,
like
was
this
looking at
stat.
8. Tony
Jimmy,
Romo.
also, Jimmy Garoppolo at number 8. Yeah,
That's why I was shocked by that one. But Lamar Jackson is crazy. That's a
Yeah.
crazy one.
I mean,
I guess
minimum.
he doesn't throw a
500
ton of picks. He really doesn't.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't take a lot of sacks because he usually
Yeah.
can either get to the sideline and throw it away, or just takes off and gets beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, Tony Romo's a good one too.
I don't think I
Tom
would
Brady
have thought
and
of
Next
Tony
year.
Romo and no, that's crazy. I would have maybe got to Phillip Rivers. I don't think I would have gotten anybody else. But
And of course, Patrick Mahomes above and beyond everybody
yeah.
else. I think that's a good metric, though. I feel like, just looking at the top 5, I feel like, yeah,
that's a very good metric. Like that tells you. I mean, it just makes sense. Like that's the most efficient. What you want, like
it just
moving
takes
the ball
everything
down the field. Yeah.
It like outweighs your it puts a lot of weight on your interceptions too. So it's like a lot of that's why like I'm Dan Marino probably didn't make it, and like obviously Brett Favre wouldn't make it. Josh Allen not making it. Also 11 Tua, 12 is Kirk Cousins, 13 Steve Young, 14 Russell Wilson, and 15 Jared Goff. All right, that was fun.
Tua up there is odd too. All right, so we got a question here in the chat. Bo Murphy Packers.
Sorry, I missed it, man. Should I start James Cook, Jonathan Taylor, Javonte Williams for my defense, Pittsburgh or Denver? Go Pack, go Bucks.
I think there's.
I would absolutely go James Cook and Jonathan Taylor, and then Pittsburgh or Denver. Denver, because they play the Panthers. So
yeah, no, I was
James
able to choose between those 3: James Cook, Jonathan Taylor, or Javonte Williams.
If I just one of them, I would still. I think
I would do Jonathan Taylor.
I might go James Cook. I still believe in James Cook a lot. I think when that offense, I know maybe he's not as expected to get as much. I don't know.
I just
Jonathan,
feel like
like
there's
you
not
can't
a
go
lot of
wrong with
weapons.
Taylor, I think.
I
I
think
think
there's
James
not
Cook might
enough
have a
weapons.
higher ceiling, but Taylor might have a higher floor.
Yes.
I just don't know if they're going to ease Jonathan Taylor back into the process. And they're playing the Texans, so they could fall to a quick, Texans take a 14-0 lead real quick, and then all of a sudden you need to start passing all game.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think you can go wrong with.
I feel like you have to start Jonathan Taylor, but I understand the thought process behind starting
Right.
him.
And Javonte Williams actually is he does belong in the conversation there, to be honest.
Right. Yeah.
If you look at Broncos, the games that they're favored to win, he's had like over 15 points in like both of them the past 4 weeks or something like that. I can't remember. If you just look at his stats though, the games that they win, he does a lot better. So it's like that kind of goes with the Jonathan Taylor thing that like if you fall to a lead, that kind of takes out a lot of your running game sometimes. And yeah, he could still get some receptions if it's like PPR maybe, but I like James Cook there. I like James Cook. They play Bills play the freaking I just forgot who they played. All righty, let's go with our picks from 3 weeks ago.
Oh yeah,
you did very well, Brian. I am so proud of you right now. You feel like you should be if you bet on your guys, you would have went like you could have made a crazy parlay for like 2 touchdowns for whatever and over yards
and honestly the top 3 would have been the people I would have bet on because tight end, defense, kicker are too unpredictable to even want to bet on.
Hell yeah. I think I did bet a Jalen Tolbert touchdown right before he I think it was like during halftime or whatever. I had like a live profit boost.
Mm-hmm.
It was like $5.
You love adding him to your.
So I was like, oh, that's cool. That's a meal.
You love adding him to your bets, though. That's like
I do. I don't think he's done anything for me since, but
yeah. But yeah, that was a good week. We took a hiatus after that, but that was definitely. I was proud of that one. I was like, maybe I could just end on top and never.
No, I got to bring you down a little bit. You left Jake Bates up there during the bye.
I thought I replaced him with
a lot of shit last year.
You're right.
Doing that to somebody, and I was like, whatever, man.
You're right.
And you made a big deal out of it. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I forgot to change it.
And it might have been Evan McPherson you did last year. Or maybe, it was Cameron
it was Dicker, wasn't it?
The kicker, yeah. Yeah, that's probably who it was. But
all right, let's go. Number one, you got.
I carefully picked Russell Wilson for my
carefully picked. Like we didn't do this together before the.
No, Russell Wilson was actually pretty good last week, and I don't know if he's legit. Like if he's like now he's on this team, but it seems to me that he wants to prove himself is what it kind of feels like, and so I would take him in a matchup this week. Against a defense that was
Giants, right?
Giants, yeah. I'd take him against the Giants. I mean, that's an easy pick. And he's what percentage is he owned in our league?
Very little, I think. Still like the 20s, I want to say. I didn't put the percentages in there.
Yeah. He might be a good bench stash. If he does like weirdly good the next game or two, might be a good bench stash for people.
I mean, his deep balls are so like he got kind of lucky with some of them, but like we were talking about it in the fantasy chat. But like he has such a great ability to like they call him the rust balls for a reason. Like that's the one thing he's good at, and that's the one thing that they need with like George Pickens and like even Washington, who's like 6 foot. He's like a giant. So like you just put it like the right way, they can make those like 40-60 balls like 80-20 balls almost. So like.
Right.
They're just ridiculous when you have a receiver like that, like Pickens. We wanted Pickens so bad to be Packer. We wanted Darnell Washington so bad to be Packer. And the Steelers got fucking both of them. And they're now like 2 of their better players on offense.
There you
go. No, I'm glad that Washington's doing good, though. I saw a video of him catching the ball with his – like he has giant, like the second biggest hands in like NFL history or something like that. And like it's like –
Russell Wilson does?
No, Darnell Washington.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't think he did.
So like, it looked like he was like holding a Nerf ball or something. Like that's wild. I got Bo Nix. As I said, the Broncos are playing the Panthers, and I think that they really like to use it. Like you saw what he did against New Orleans on Thursday night last week. they kind of let him just use his legs, and I think that's a lot. That's going to unlock a big part of their offense because I think like he's legitimately fast. Like him and Drake May both are like they have that deceptive white guy speed,
right?
But like watching his tape in college, like they ran that read option a lot, not like a lot maybe, but a decent amount. So I think that he can legit keep some momentum going in this season and put some numbers. I know they like to rely on the run game still, but they also use their quick game to get a lot of yardage as well. So that racks up receptions and yardage for him. So
I respect that pick too.
It's not like if you have your guy on bye week, I don't mind it. I think he's considering his matchup. I like the matchup a lot.
Right.
We could have another what we saw with him with the Saints because he's put up 20 and 26 points or something like that in the past 2 weeks. So not too bad. You can't complain with that. All right, running backs. This was a brutal week for running backs. If you're looking for someone to stream, I mean, I have Raheem Mostert, and I'm like, I don't think he's worth keeping, but there's like no one worth even thinking about dropping him for. So it's like,
which we talked about, like why that's happening, and it's sort of this vibe that like running backs that have any use at all have been picked up by every league at this point, and then which is why it's hard to pick sleepers because there's not decent running backs on the waiver wire. Where before it was like, this person's injured, or so you have these like weird handcuffs that are emerging, and then you also have like players that are like Javonte Williams who are starting to be late bloomers, or even like Jaylen Warren that we're looking at right now, which is barely anything.
He just has a little upset because he could get half the carries any given week, So.
Right. Yeah, and also like running back by committee. That's another thing that, when you start to figure out what that committee looks like, then people start to pick people up. But one that I was super disappointed in was the Raiders running backs. I have Alexander Madison on my team, and I never start him. And he's been awesome the past 2 or 3 weeks. Like he's gotten, I think they said he has had at least 17 touches the last 3 weeks.
Zamir White's been hurt, hasn't he? That's why he's gotten a lot of touches.
Yeah, but Zamir White came back and he was still
he fumbled the ball. He gave
Madison is still the clear RB.
I'm curious. I wanted to ask you this. I didn't get a chance to ask you this earlier this week because you said that you had a chance to pick up DeAndre Hopkins because you were awake at 6 a.m. and that news dropped, and you didn't over Alex Pierce.
Yeah, so
that's interesting. I feel like I get the upside, but I think Hopkins can be huge for the Chiefs, dude. Because you saw what Rasheed Rice did. I mean, I know he's not Rasheed Rice as terms as like yards after catch, but like that any sense of reliability, like their receiving core is that fucking bad that like even a washed up DeAndre Hopkins who can just do the fundamentals and run the route. I'm talking like I'm not letting you answer a question. I'm sorry. Like I think after. I think there's so much value in there, and I'm like so mad because I fell asleep. I was like working on something over that night, and I fell asleep right before it happened. I was like, "Fuck!" I would have dropped him in a second for Mostert.
No. I mean, so it really was Alec Pierce was the only person that I could have dropped. Like, really, in reality, I was like, and I kept going back and forth with it, and I was like, with Anthony Richardson coming back. I do think Alec Pierce is one of those guys where if you need him in a pinch, he can put up big numbers. And I would rather have somebody who has that high of a ceiling on my bench than somebody who probably will get a consistent 7 to 9 points from being on the Chiefs.
Right.
I don't have a lot of faith in, that offense anyways for making a star. Making a wide receiver a star player. Like they don't. That's not how they operate. They spread the ball out a lot, similar to like the Packers and maybe like peak Tom Brady. Offenses. There was really no, which is why people like Travis Kelce like is such a disappointment. Now it's like who do you start on that offense? That's like a clear wide receiver 1 or 2 or especially with the injuries and stuff. But
even Mahomes is like he's been such a bad fantasy.
He's not been great. Yeah. So I still had Puka on IR during the game.
That's what happened to the guy in our league.
Yeah,
I mean, you gotta turn on those notifications, buddy.
Right.
I saw it like 2 hours before. I was like, all right. I thought about like sending a trade offer for it real quick.
Well, because they didn't. It wasn't widely reported either.
I totally get it. Like,
right. In the middle of a Sunday,
limited, like it was a game time decision, and then he was like their main guy, especially the first half. Like every pass to Puka, he had like 100 yards in the first half. Yeah, that's like, it sucks, but like I get it. Like they have no obligation to like tell you for fantasy reasons. It just sucks. Because like, why would they want to give their game plan away? You know what I mean? It's like if Puka was going to be like the Vikings weren't planning for Puka. You know what I mean? It's with the same with the 49ers and McCaffrey. It's like it goes. You can play it both ways and act like someone's going to play, and then act like someone's not going to play.
Right. Well, you can.
Puka's just a badass though. So like, you got to still be thrilled he's on your team. He looks good. Like I think he got banged up a little bit again, but he should be good to go from here on out.
He looks awesome though. Like he going into hibernation after he got injured.
And you didn't get a touchdown, so you didn't miss like too much. It was like 16 points, like half PPR. So
right.
It's not like an insane game.
Well, why don't we talk about wide receivers? We can, unless you want.
Yeah, sorry, Braylon Allen. Braylon Allen. Yeah, I'll just talk about him real quick. He's an option. Ricky Pearsall. Tell us about Ricky. Pretty Ricky.
Yeah, this is a case of there's not much going on in San Francisco right now with the injuries to the wide receivers, and he might just be somebody that just like sparks that offense to have just a hot hand weapon again. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about this too. Like, it's kind of a hacky thing to even be like, "Oh, pick Ricky Pearsall," because he was picked up like crazy during the waiver wire too. But,
right.
But yeah, I feel like it's a common, if everybody's thinking it's right, it's probably right. He's only owned in 34% of leagues right now, so
I think it was a bad waiver wire week. So like,
yeah,
it was like anybody with any hint of upside with that Juwan Jennings type of upside,
right?
And even not McDaniels, Shanahan said after the game that even like the 4 receptions he got, like whatever snaps he played, they didn't want him to play that much going into the game. So I don't think he's going to be crazy, but I get the upside 100%. I think someone's got like 27 some bucks on him. Jameis or Richardson, my second Superflex quarterback. Ooh, I would still go Richardson.
Yeah,
I think the Tex I think he played good against the Texans last year. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit different defense, but like I like Richardson still.
Richardson just has the legs.
He has too much like boomer bust. Yeah,
and he's like he does weird, crazy things with deep balls. So like you have to go with Richardson there too.
Mahomes and Brees or Kyron for Jaden Daniels, Pollard, and Neighbors. I would keep Kyron for sure.
I think you could probably find a waiver wire quarterback that is better than Mahomes.
I mean, I get the want to trade for Daniels, but
yeah,
if anything, I'd trade Brees for like I just offer him like Brees for Daniels and Pollard or something like that. See if he'd go for something like that. Maybe like
I would do Kyron for. I would do Kyron.
I would keep Kyron because I think the Rams are going to get some momentum this season. They're getting healthier again, and I think their division's wide open at this point, so I think they could be.
Wait, put that back up because I didn't read the rest of it. Wide receiver 1 now is Jefferson.
It's covering your beautiful face, bud. Sorry.
There it is. And James Winston, I'm 2-5. Can't decide which running back to trade. I mean, probably Brees.
Yeah, I would trade Brees. I think he still has some upside for people that are like in the playoff hunt. I mean, Kyron is probably worth more at this point, but I would trade Brees.
If you could do Mahomes and Brees for Jaden Daniels, Neighbors, and Pollard, I feel like that's a good deal. Right? Would you agree? I mean, because Mahomes is
that'd be great for you.
You could throw Mahomes out. Like, he's not anything, honestly.
I mean, I think Pollard's, but I don't know if they do that, but like, if they could do it.
If you just do Brees for Daniels and Neighbors, I mean, that's a good deal.
It depends on what your receivers are. Jefferson. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
Higgins won't play. Which two of you start? Kamara, Brian Thomas Jr., Olave, Amari. PPR. They're supposed to be really bad in Seattle. Yeah, I think Olave is like still not 100%. Plus he has still a rookie. So I would go Brian Thomas Jr. and Kamara.
Yeah, that's seems like the easy.
I still might, even with the weather, I still might go. I wouldn't blame you if you want Amari over Brian Thomas Jr. though, just because the Josh Allen upside is real.
Yeah.
And our safeties, the Packers safeties, are pretty good, and they might not allow many deep balls to Brian Thomas Jr., which is like a lot of his production.
Don't let Johnny fool you, dude.
The Packers are good, baby. Our defense is so back. Have you watched our defense?
I don't watch mid.
86 yards for CJ. I didn't brag about it. I just was so quiet. It was like, I'm just going to enjoy this for myself. 86 yards for CJ Stroud. That's all. That's all you got to know. So if that happens, Trevor Lawrence, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised.
What was the
You might go. We're about to go 4-0 in the AFC North. So
okay.
AFC South. What can AFC South?
AFC South.
I got Christian Watson for no reason besides my bias, and I think it's time for a Christian Watson game. But I say that like every other week, and it doesn't happen. But I think he's like fully healthy. He's like not even on the injury report anymore. He's all the way back. I like Christian Watson to go off. He's just like one of the better guys that might be on your waiver wire. That's probably still on your waiver wire. Waddle, Deontay. Yeah, is Deontay getting traded for sure? I haven't looked up anything about that. I don't trust him with Bryce Young though. Like it's that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but like against the Broncos, man, fuck.
Well, I want you to imagine
Sertan's gonna be back. Like Sertan's gonna walk him down.
Well, imagine your team with Jaden Daniels, Kyron Williams, Justin Jefferson, and Malik Neighbors. Right there, that's a super solid core of wide receiver ones, RB ones, QB ones. I think that's a good trade to do the Breece Hall for those guys.
Yeah, I would be panicking about Breece Hall. I would try to get every value I can for him.
I would only be worried about your running back depth, but I don't know what your running back depth looks like.
That's what I'm saying. Like Pollard's a very good. I think he's a good underappreciated value.
Yeah,
like I legit would do like if you wanted Jaden Daniels that bad, I would do like I said I would do Breece and Jaden Daniels for Daniels and Pollard. Depending on I mean it's a super flex, so your quarterbacks are worth that much.
If you could somehow do Mahomes and Breece for Daniels, Pollard, and Neighbors.
Yeah, get all three of them. But I think
that's what it seemed like. Is that something they offered you?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like you can do Breece or Kyron. I'd be like, all right, dude.
All right, let's get on with the show because I need to get to the.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Tight ends.
I like tight ends, so I'm trying to press the button. Taysom Hill, Mr. Mormon.
He's back. He's healthy. Johnny didn't believe me, but he is. And also with Derek Carr still out, I think it's one of those things where
quarterback for a few games or for a few plays.
That and I mean it's a possibility because who's the next up in the depth chart for quarterback?
I don't fucking remember his name now. Jake Hayner, I think.
Yeah, well,
Hayner or Hardman Muir.
No. So that reason plus quarterbacks who are inexperienced typically lean on guys that have been in an offense for a while and tight ends and running backs to throw to. So I say that and look at Kamara's numbers recently, but not great.
It's in the same author for either run. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, do Breece.
Do Breece 100%. Yeah, I think Kyron he could be another league winner this year because he's still scoring at a ridiculous rate. And like
got him on my team.
He looked very good, very good. I doubted you, Brian. I tried to convince you he wasn't as good. I was like, you should trade him to me.
I think I had him
Didn't
at
work.
11,
Didn't work.
10 or 11. You have Noah Fant.
No font.
No fans.
No font.
No pants.
The font. What the font? Yeah, DK's out, so they're going to look for somebody to fill that void. I think JSN would be the better option if he was for some god reason available in your league.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in an 8-man league for some reason, I guess. But no offense. I think he's a solid tight end here. He's probably one of the best on your waiver wire. If Dallas Goedert is there, because he is out. Goddard is out still with the knee injury, I believe. He's put up some decent numbers, I think, recently. I don't remember what it is. I didn't check. But go in there and look before. Just confirm before you just believe me and make sure that his production is up to your satisfaction. But I think you could see at least that what he had the last 2 weeks, plus maybe another reception or two. For tight ends, National Tight End Day, man, all these tight ends usually get some love for the marketing. So, yeah.
Who do you have for your defense?
Defense. I was waiting for you to compliment my pick. I thought you were going to say that was a really good pick, Johnny.
That was a good pick, Johnny.
I got the Dolphins against the Cardinals. This is a rough week for defenses too. Rough matchup for a lot of these defenses. But the Cardinals and the Dolphins, I think, the Dolphins could get some momentum from that offense if we see that kind of going. And then the Cardinals, they're just like an every other week team. They're really good one week and then they're shitty the next week. So they were good last week, and so this week they'll probably be bad again. So that's my only reason for that. And then I got Mr. Gooch himself, Mr. McManus, who should have been the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week, because he actually just got to Green Bay and made the kick twice, and bad snap. He had to fucking adjust his kick mid kick, and he made the field goal to win the game. Just at the buzzer, by the way, which is more impressive than Mr. Bates. I'm sorry. I know you made all your extra points, Mr. Bates. I'm not trying to take away your love, but I think that Mr. McManus should have got it. But for political reasons that I won't get into, I shouldn't have even mentioned that. My bad, guys.
I like the Dolphins pick. I do like that. I respect that.
They were there. I mean, that's like the only team. I was looking at the defenses in our waiver wire. I was like, this is the only one I would like even think about. But
I think I would do. So I didn't put this on here. I would do the Bengals against the Eagles.
Start to Sutton, Pittman, Wandale, Jalen. Pittman for sure if he's all the way healthy. I think he was like still playing through something. Man, I don't love any of these picks. I mean,
yeah, Pittman for sure.
It's like Sutton has like a little bit of a floor, but like he doesn't at the same time.
Yeah,
I guess Sutton because they're playing the Panthers, but like also Ezero Evero maybe he knows. I don't know if they might impress that. Like, it might be like a real low scoring game again, and I could be wrong about my Bo Nix picks, but I'll say Sutton and Pittman.
I would do Pittman and then Jalen McMillan because of the amount.
See, I love having him, but I wouldn't start him before I kind of see what his production looks like without Godwin and Evans. But I mean,
I don't think I would start Wandale Robinson or Sutton equally, though. Is what I'm saying. Like I don't know if I would want to start. I don't know. I think I would.
No, I get it. I get it. If you need upside, I think Jalen has maybe a little more upside than Sutton, but like
he might have a lot of targets. I honestly probably not, but it might all go to like Cade Otton. And
I was gonna say like Cade Otton might be the guy that gets a lot of that because he got the touchdown last week, and I think after Evans left, he got a couple more targets too. But
yeah,
I don't know. I think that they might spread the ball out more.
Right.
Yeah, Sutton got a 0. I get I hate starting a guy like after that, but like sometimes you gotta just try to just like close your eyes, like all right, just don't do this again. Yeah, double down a little bit. They run a lot. Javonte would be a good start for whoever else was asking, but he had like a great either two. It was like whatever. But the Chargers. Who they play? They're playing the Panthers. They're not playing the Panthers.
No, so I had
this is from 2 weeks ago. I didn't change
2 weeks ago. I wanted to pick the Bengals versus the Eagles.
Eagles? Ooh.
And then
I can see Hurts turning the ball over a couple times.
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, they're just I think the Bengals have a maybe I'm not right on this, but do they
sacked Deshaun like 4 times in the first half last week, I think. So they've been getting pressure all season. Like, even when they played Lamar, I think they got some pressure on him too.
I'm Googling.
I mean, he made those crazy plays, like one-handed stiff arms that like brushed off the damn defense, but like
technically the Bengals have the 3rd best rushing defense. Well, hold on. That's not correct. The Bengals have one of the mid-tier rushing defenses.
Mid-tier. No, they don't look like the same defense, but like it's encouraging to get. I guess the Browns' offensive line kind of sucks, but at least maybe get a little momentum from that.
Yeah. They give up 4.4 yards per carry, which again, mid.
Yeah, Saquon might go off, but I'm excited to watch that game. I'll be rooting for the kitty goes meow.
There you go.
All right, any final thoughts? I added one fantasy name there. I think you like it.
Komet me, bro.
Komet me, bro.
I love Komet. Love him.
He's ass though. He's still ass. He's not even top 10.
Not, but
He's like 13 this year. Pretty freaking terrible.
13 with 2 of those first weeks being like he didn't do anything because Caleb won.
Okay, you can't do that. That's why it's total. We're talking about total, bro.
Okay,
you
can
say, that one game was a fluke where you had 3 touchdowns. Shut up, man. You can play both sides on that.
Okay, well then let's just wait
I was
do this 4 weeks from now.
I was also trying to just make fun of myself. I hate that. Oh well, he had a bad game. But yeah, he had good games too. Like that's what makes it the total.
All right, whatever.
It's like saying like, oh, Mark Andrews is the best fucking tight end right now because he had 2 touchdowns the past 2 weeks. Like, dude, he also had 4 bad games.
I do like how Tim in our league was so depressed about him, and he's trying to trade for tight ends. And
I actually want to hear your thoughts on this. If Tim's watching, I'm sorry for breaking our confidentiality. Because I was close, and I was like, I can't do it. I was thinking about it. Because I offered him Kenneth Walker. I offered him DK for Kenneth Walker straight up. I was like, I don't think he'll do this, but I'll see if he's that desperate for a receiver. All right,
I wanted to
chance to counter, and he countered with Kenneth and Mark Andrews for DK and Kittle, and I was like, ooh, I think that's actually a fair trade. But I can't do that.
You should have done that, dude.
You think so?
Yeah.
I like Kittle too much, bro. I can't do it.
Oh, you should have done that. But anyway, no, I would trade. I can't trade with him this week because I wanted to, but I'm
still nervous about. I'm just worried about him staying healthy. I guess maybe I should be worried about DK equally staying healthy, but like
I was willing to give him Garrett Wilson.
I don't want to give up my tight end. I think Kittle is going to be so key to that 49ers team down the stretch, man. And like he's like the number 2 tight end in fantasy right now. I don't trust. I just don't like Mark Andrews at all. If there's a 3-way trade that you want Mark Andrews, you can send me.
I don't really want I mean, David Njoku is when he's healthy, he's good. No matter who's on the team or no matter who's passing.
With Jameis, man, you could put it. Yeah. I thought about taking him, but I got good old Tucker Kraft.
He had a great week last week, and I dropped Tucker Kraft for you. So there you go. I have Cole Kmet and David Njoku. I'm sitting pretty.
Did you see that video about Tucker Kraft saying he tells when he's talking trash, he tells his opponents that he's gonna burn their childhood home down.
What the hell?
It's like the best trash talk I've ever heard. Burn down your childhood home while your family's still in it.
All right, last question before we get off.
One more. Oh no, I don't have another question.
Oh no, there's not. This is a question for you.
Okay.
What would be the best topical NFL Halloween costume for
I don't know. Something with Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, like maybe a guy and a girl like making out in the Devontae and Aaron jersey.
I think something with like Tua looking, that might be too far, but like something with his head, like a dented helmet, like really bad.
Praying for Tua. We want the best for Tua.
Of course. Nothing but good vibes. All the best, sending good vibes his way, but no, I was thinking about this today because I was like, if I wanted to do something for Halloween, I'd want it to be like something funny that my friends would think is funny. I don't know, might be something to sit on and think. We got a few days.
I was starting to think of something and I totally lost it. Got a couple more days. This is like the Halloween weekend, though. I think, right? This is where people do things. I don't do things.
Well, some people were going trick or treating this weekend. I think most of the neighborhoods around me do it on Halloween night. I'm pretty sure. So
that's Thursday night, right?
Yep.
I guess Thursday night's a good night for Halloween. I'll say. Because it's Friday. It's Friday. Like, no one cares the next day. Like,
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
off
yeah.
Thursday, Friday this week. Thursday, Friday,
Nice.
Saturday, Sunday. So
you get off for Halloween. Is a national holiday now?
no, I just took it off because there's a lot of stuff going on. So I was like, my band's playing on Friday. So
Ooh.
everyone wants to come down to St. Louis see my band play.
All
Yeah, but
right, guys. We appreciate y'all. Come back next week, maybe if we're back. If we have time. if we get our shit together ever.
let's get it together.
We appreciate you guys for watching the stream. And next time, as always, we don't have a catchphrase yet, but stay groovy,
healthy.
guys. Drink some water.